VA and praise. And let me just tell you this. It is going to be that. It's going to be live Q&A. All right, very simple. If you want business coaching, if you got questions, put them in the live chat. If you're watching this replay, put them in the comments and we will circle back and make sure that we honor your thoughts, your questions, your concerns on a later session or even in the comment section. All right. P, what's up, bro? Let's hop right into it, man. How you doing? How's
Man,
things been going? Happy New Year. All the things. We back.
yes, sir. Happy New Year, man. I think 2026 is going to be even a better run of doing these. I think last year was it was the foundation. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We built it,
Hmm.
ended up getting the rhythm. But yeah, we here, man. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to dive into it, and yeah, I'm ready to be my best self in 2026.
I love it, bro. I love it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes,
that's
sir.
what it's all about. It's evolution, looking at how you do what you do. What do I need to keep doing? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? Right?
Yeah,
That's essentially what every year should be for all of us if we trying to do this thing called progress. And so, yeah, man, I'm just I feel I feel great, you know what I'm saying, with
it's good.
the the things that are happening more internal than external.
Yes, I
And,
agree.
just as a result of the things that are happening internally, I know that there's going to be some significant external fruit, whatever
Yeah,
that look like, right?
yeah,
And so, yeah, I'm grateful for that, bro.
yeah. That's good. And to speak to your advice, that you get all the giving me $1 million worth of advice, literally. But I think one of the biggest things, especially now that I'm experiencing, like you said, I'm experiencing more internal change than external.
Mm,
You talked about like discipline. You've talked about the non-negotiables that you have to do, and it's like now my non-negotiables make me happier than ever now. Like the things that I'm actually doing, bro, I don't feel more joyful, more happy, more content, more satisfied. Like it's not nothing crazy that's going on, but my identity is constantly being, refined. And that's where I was like, yeah, this is like it actually works.
yeah.
I think it's one thing for you to say it, but now that I'm going through it, actually implementing it, bro, it actually works. Like people are like, yo, why are you happier? I'm like, because I did everything I needed to do today. That's why I'm happy. It's
For
not
sure.
because I made more money yet. It's because I did exactly everything I said I was going to do. So keeping my word has brought me more joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
It's so good you bring that up because I was just sharing this with a client yesterday. One of the best things we could ever do for ourselves is keep our word to ourselves, right? Because, and this is a big because oftentimes the reason that we don't keep our word to ourselves is due to some type of fear or insecurity. So it's not just a function of I didn't do what I said I was going to do. It's the why I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So I constantly find myself in an identity crisis because I was scared to post my content because I didn't know how it was going to be received. I constantly find myself in this dark hole of insecurity because I didn't reach out because I was scared of the rejection. So it's not just that you didn't keep your word to yourself; it's why you didn't is what hurts you. So every time that we keep our word to ourselves, no matter what, it's not just a function of the alignment between our conscious and subconscious that I consciously did what I said, and my subconscious loves the fact that I kept my word. But it's also that I'm slaying dragons and giants in my life at the very same time of doing so.
100%, 100%. I realized me not keeping my word fed all of that more. It fed all of the fears more. It fed all of my obstacles more. It fed all of my disbelief in myself more when I wouldn't keep my word. So then when it's time for me to keep it, the obstacle looks bigger. The opposition looks bigger. As I've been
Hmm.
keeping my word, it looks smaller and smaller every day.
Hmm.
Like, and this is going into this year. I vowed, I was like, I can't have the same year I did last year. And the biggest difference was keeping my word.
Hmm.
Because I know if I kept my word and I did all the things I was supposed to do, it would have been a totally different year. So I'm like, coming into this year, I see already the because a lot of the times I didn't keep my word was just a lack of belief of, can I actually do this? Like, is this
Yeah.
actually gonna work? You
Yeah.
know? So then now that I'm keeping my word, that's not even a thought anymore of, can I actually do this? Like, I'm just doing it. I'm not giving myself the time to talk myself out of my
Mhm.
non-negotiables, because I would do that
Mhm.
a lot. I'd be like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if I'm gonna see the fruit. I don't know if this is actually worth my time. Am I wasting time? Like, just a bunch of questions to talk me out of it. This year, I've just been head down, like, pace of grace. As
Yeah.
we go, we go. We'll make the changes as we need to make the changes. But
Good.
I've seen that, like you said, it's been more internal than external. So, and now when I see other people and they're like, what are you doing that's changing your life? I'm like, I'm doing everything internally first. When
Yeah.
I wake up, I know the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to sleep at this time, I'm eating the right food, I'm making sure I'm like, everything that I said that this is on the schedule for today, I'm getting it done. But I'm realizing all the external things that used to affect me, whether it be voices, because when I wasn't keeping my word, every voice was valuable to me. Does that make
Mhm.
you understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
I do.
now they're telling me I should do this. I'm like, all right, I'll do it, because I think that's gonna help me keep my word. And then somebody says do that, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do that. So I would listen to everybody, and I would never keep my word. Now that I'm keeping my word, everybody's voice just sounds like an opinion that I do or don't have to take. Because before, when I
100%.
wasn't, I'm taking everybody's word. So
100%.
yeah, there's been
100%.
just a lot of big differences in just me keeping my word, and I sense it already. Like, even just showing up here, difference already.
Right.
Like, more
Right.
excited, more tuned.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's strong because when you don't fix the essence of the core of the problem, then you try to address it with tactics and strategies. But that's no different than treating the symptoms and never getting to the root cause.
yes,
And that's what happens is we just stack more tactics and more voices and more strategies and more widgets and more this to try to fix the issue, but we're only treating the symptoms. We're never diagnosing and eliminating the root cause of the problem.
yeah,
So what you just said was profound. And people every day think it's another room, it's another voice, it's another video, it's another live, it's another course, it's another, and it's like, no, it's fix you. It's fix you.
yeah.
So anyway, quite the introduction, but let's get into the question.
No, that's good. And I do have a I do have a question, one last question before we get into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, why do you think it's so hard for people to fix themselves? Like, what is, like, because it's easier to treat symptoms than it is to treat the true core problem. So why do you think people treat the symptom instead of the root cause more often than not?
People don't fix themselves because they don't face themselves.
Mm, it's good.
They don't fix themselves because they don't face themselves. Because the way that God created us, He created us to not just be consumers, but to be contributors.
Yeah.
To not just be consumers, but to be producers. So if I face myself and I truly objectively diagnose a problem that I have, God has put something within me to make me naturally want to overcome that. Because we are overcomers in Christ Jesus, are we not?
Yes, sir.
So my natural instinct, my innate instinct is to try to overcome that. Problem is, in the process of overcoming anything, there's resistance called adversity. So as soon as I make the connection, if I identify this issue and I want to overcome it, then immediately my mind goes to what's my opposition. One of the primary functions of our brain is to keep us safe. The problem is it don't know truly what's dangerous.
Mm,
Our belief patterns have told our brain and conditioned our brain to believe what's safe and what's dangerous. So immediately I'm faced with the reality of the thing that I want to change. And then immediately after that, I'm faced with the opposition that's going to keep me from changing it. So rather than put myself under that kind of stress and pressure, then I just distract myself so I never face my problem so I could fix my problem. So my brain then helps me go and find all these least path of resistance approaches to just mask the the pain and treat the symptoms enough to keep me comfortable enough until I look up and find myself in a cool place in hell.
That's good. That's really good. I appreciate that, B.
If
That's
I
good.
confront it, I got to do something about it. God
Yeah.
made it that way. So then I avoid it. So I don't have to put myself through that agony of facing the reality of the work that I'm gonna have to do despite how I feel about it.
Right. Right. 100%. And that was that's something that I do want to hear um your point of view on this. For me recently, I've been looking at resistance as I'm getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
I never looked at it that way before. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I see resistance, I'm like, this is why I didn't do it in the first place. So resistance used to be, this is why I'm avoiding it. Now resistance is, this is why I'm attacking it. So can you just like speak to that a little bit? Because now I look at resistance as a good thing, because before I would always view it as a bad one. Like, why am I facing resistance in this? Like, why can't this thing just go the way I wanted to go? Or, I didn't like the obstacles and the opposition that was in front of me. But now I'm looking at it as there wouldn't be any resistance if I wasn't getting closer to who I'm supposed to be. So can you just
Yeah.
speak to that a little bit?
So you work at a gym, right?
100%.
I imagine some of the trainers on staff, they pretty jacked.
Yeah.
How have they gotten jacked?
Resistance training.
How does anybody in the gym get stronger? Is it from their
Resist.
diet plan?
No.
Is it from the creatine and the supplements? You only get stronger through resistance.
Mm.
So while yes, it could be indicative that you on the cusp of something big happening, but it could just be indicative of the fact that you're growing. That you're growing. That there's a constant resistance in your life because you're in a state of constant growth. What I don't want to happen is that I end up with spiritual atrophy, emotional atrophy, I don't want atrophy in any place in my life. So it's about embracing the resistance and then understanding that if his yoke is easy and his burden is light, then you should only be carrying the portion you should be carrying. Why? Because just like at the gym, we need a spotter when the weight too much. And Jesus is the ultimate spotter. He designed it that way. So yes, you will have resistance to grow. But when the load is too heavy to where you will hurt yourself, then you have to rely on the spotter.
That's good. That's good. Great example, by the way.
Seemed like it made sense to me.
Great example, by the way. So yeah, now.
But seriously, bro, because
Yeah.
the reason I use that is because what you said wasn't wrong, but it wasn't totally right either. I
Okay.
think, especially in a body of believers, is all these like Christian colloquialisms of like when it's the toughest right now because you're about to get a breakthrough, and it's like, no, it's tough because you're getting stronger.
Mm.
The only way to get stronger is to have resistance. It's not always that some big thing is happening.
Mm.
It's not always that there's some big external win that you're on the precipice of. It's like, no, you're growing internally. You're reconditioning your mind to identify patterns and next time not let it derail you, but let you overcome it faster.
Mm.
Right? And that's no indictment against you. I'm just saying in
No,
general,
for
right?
sure. Yeah, yeah.
It's a known thing for believers to be like, yeah, it get toughest right before. And it's like, yeah, sometimes it's just tough though. Sometimes it's just tough because that season of a year and a half of being tough is preparing you for something he got downstream for you 10 years from now.
Right.
But you had to get this season to prepare you for that season. So you don't come out of that season like, whew, here's the promised land now. It's like, no, you come out of that season and be like, I feel lighter.
It's good.
Did I feel lighter because the load left, or did I feel lighter because I done put so many reps up with this weight that now I'm immune to it?
Mm.
The same weight that will make my knees buckle in the past, I squat that easily now. It's like put 2 more plates on. So the beauty in the rhythm, the beauty in the rhythm is understanding when you're no longer struggling with that weight anymore.
Mm.
That thing used to crush me. That person used to manipulate me and just do toxic things to me. I used to have anxiety just to even get on the phone with that person. I don't anymore. Something has changed in me now to endure the encounter, or even made me strong enough to cut them off.
It's good.
That boss don't get on my nerves like they used to. I used to be anxious going to work every day, not knowing what's going to be next. Now I got peace. My finances just had me depressed day after day after day. This debt just feel like it's a mountain I'm never going to be able to climb. And then now I got joy and peace about my finances. Watch this. But the debt's still there. I ain't out yet. So why is it that now I got joy and peace when I used to be depressed, can't get out the bed? It's not because the resistance left. It's because you become more accustomed to it.
That's really good. That's really good. So you basically saying resistance is inevitable.
It one in the kingdom it is. Your past pain is preparation for your purpose. It's never wasted. You got to remember, in the book of Job, it showed us clearly that the enemy had to get in line with the angels to ask God for permission to do anything to Job.
Right.
Which means that anything that happens to us, it ain't by surprise. It ain't like God didn't know. It's because he allowed it. And if he allowed it because he is love, then that means it's only Romans 8:28. It's only working for our good. No matter how twisted, how unfair, how unreasonable all those things may seem at that point in time, the word is the word. It don't need your validation or confirmation. It's already confirmed. What it does need is a perspective shift so that you can get what it says.
That's good. It's real good. Yeah. I ain't look at it that way. I do not look at it that way. That sometimes you're just growing. Because you're
That's
right. It
all
is
it
a
is.
common theme. It is a common theme where believers are like, it gets tough right before the breakthrough. But you just saying, what if it's just tough? Like
It's just tough.
I never hear that. I never hear that.
Like it's
I never hear that.
the whole gospel is about pick up your cross daily, die to yourself. And yet, as believers, we always got to just make everything like it's leaps and bounds and peaks and valleys. And although that's a part of it, but I just think we get too overzealous and too much hyperbole about where we're really at in that process.
Mm.
By the way, it's not because God designed for it to take that long. It's because our perspective hasn't shifted and our heart hasn't changed to expedite the process. So we stay in process longer. Because instead of praying, Lord, take me out of it, we don't ask, Father, are you in it with me?
Mm.
Make me better in it, as opposed to take me out of it.
It's very good. That's very good. I think this is going to help a lot of people in 2026.
I sure hope it do.
Bro, I'm telling you, because
I sure hope it do.
it's funny because I'm so grateful that we're actually having this conversation. Because I think as people are in the midst of getting stronger, they begin to fixate on the blessing or the miracle that's going to come out of them getting stronger. That's all they're thinking about. Like, God got a blessing for me on the other side of this. The amount of times where I'd be going through something and somebody just tells me, oh yeah, God got you. He gonna make some da 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 da. So then I'm ignoring now what I'm in the middle of, because I'm like, there's something that's coming, right? So now I'm only thinking about something that's coming, not thinking of, am I getting better and stronger in this process? I wasn't thinking that. So now that you're saying sometimes it's just tough, changes the whole perspective, because even from my previous season into this season, it's not that there's less resistance. I would argue and say that there's more resistance, if I'm being honest. So I got blessed in a way, but now the blessing is bringing more resistance that I'm like, I didn't know that it was going to bring this much. But now you're saying sometimes that's just what it is. And I never looked at it that way, because it was always like, it's a means to an end. Like, I'm in this resistance because something's going to come out of this. And instead of just thinking, this is how God just wants to get me stronger for whatever it is he wants to get me stronger for. And I would never look at it that way. So this is a brand new perspective to look at growth. Like, sometimes you're just growing. Like, I'd never heard that from anybody. It was always, oh, your growth is because the promised land is right there. Did you see what the Israelites go through? And they'll use a common story, right? And what you're saying is, let's not look at where they were headed. Let's look at why they stayed there that long.
That part. That part.
You know, so that's where I'm like, this is
the journey.
Yes.
Geographically should have taken them a fraction of the time that it did. But because of who they didn't become in that process, then they stayed there longer.
100%. 100%.
Because God wasn't going to change his goal, but he will allow them to determine how long they stayed in process.
And I never looked at it that way. People talk about all the other things, and you're saying that it's how long, the reason they stayed there that long. And that's a whole different perspective. I think that people have gotten mad at God for not bringing them into the promised land. And he's like, you're not the person yet to enter it. And I never thought about that.
Yes.
Like, and we hear the story.
You got to think, bro, right? The text tells us that God does not yield to time, right? He operates outside of time. So we like, man, it's been 6 weeks. It's been 6 months. It's been a year. Do we read the text? So that, how insignificant is that to him? A year to us. What is that to him? That's like a mist, a vapor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, We're measuring in Chronos time, and he's not. He's measuring outcome, progress, completion. We're measuring time that we're in it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. We definitely are. That's so good. This is actually like very rich because when I tell you, I think, and this also, I think it saves me from future disappointment because there would be times where I would get disappointed or I'd get discouraged because of what I'm not out of yet. I'm like, oh, by in 2 3 weeks or in a month's time, I'll be here. And when I don't get there, I'm disappointed. I'm mad at God. I'm all the things, but I haven't become the person yet to get out of it. I'm not I was not thinking that. And now that like even as I'm in like I'm keeping my word, I'm more so focused on keeping my word as long as I need to keep my word instead of oh, this is coming on the other side of me keeping my word because sometimes the breakthrough don't come on the other side of it. Like I've kept my word for as long as I kept my word. He's like, okay, keep keeping it. Just keep keeping it. There's nothing else. Like there's nothing else you need. There's nothing else. There's no breakthrough, big breakthrough that's gonna come through this. It's just keep keeping your word because I'm thinking, okay, if I keep my word for this long, that this is gonna happen. And it's like, no,
Right.
you're just gonna become a better
Right.
person.
Right.
You're just gonna
Right.
become a stronger person.
But you
Um,
know that that's so indicative of why God is our Father.
mm,
Because as children with our earthly parents, what do? Try to manipulate outcomes to get what we want.
right,
I'm gonna clean my room so you can do this.
right,
I'm gonna get good grades so you can do that. If I do this, then you take me for ice cream.
yes,
When our heavenly Father says, "But if your earthly parents who are evil do great things for their children, how much more would your heavenly Father do for you?" Which is indicative of it ain't transactional with him, it's transformational.
mm,
But because that's the way we operate with our earthly parents, then we think we got to operate the same way with him. And he like, that ain't how things work with me, champ. Because I'm going to do for you before you even ask. I just need you to become the person I need you to do so I can do the things that I plan to do through you on your time here. Ain't the birds of the air taken care of? Ain't the grass taken? Like everything is on automation. Why would you think that you, being my most prized creation, that I don't got you taken care of already?
mm.
So it's understanding to your point. Like it ain't he's the furthest thing from tick for tat. So we say I'm going to do good for this time period to get this result, and he like you crazy if that's what you think. That's how this works. The reason why I want you to stay consistent in that thing so that you become that person. So now that your actions are no longer tasks, they who you are and they part of your identity. Like that's when real change occurs. Not when we do something for a specific period of time to get a specific outcome. It's when those actions become our identity.
This is good.
I got on my Fabletics right now. Why? Because I just got back from the gym. And I'm gonna go 5 6 days a week. Whether I'm in Florida, Greece, Dubai, wherever I gotta go. I'm going no, I'm just because those actions are part of my identity.
Yeah,
It's not a task on my thing that I gotta get done. No, it's a part of my being that has to happen.
it's good. It's good.
Might
It's
I add
almost
with an injured elbow right now, but that don't negate the fact that that's part of. I got a lot of other parts of my body. I can still I got to figure it out.
right, right. It's almost like you're saying the process is the reward,
1000%.
bro. That's actually that's crazy.
To piggyback on that, not that the process is the reward. Who you become in the process is the reward.
That part.
Who you become in the process is the reward. And
Mm,
if you accept the fact that you're coming out of a storm, you're going into a storm, or you're in a storm, is the reality of your life, you're gonna be all right. You're either in a storm, coming out of a storm, or going into a storm. Think about it like this, okay? So storm is resistance in this regard, right?
yeah.
I get to a level where I understand this resistance now. I can maintain this resistance. Okay. Let's go back to the gym analogy. I get to a point where I'm repping 225 10 times on the bench, right? I'm doing 3 sets of 10, 225. If I go into the gym every day for the next 10 years and all I do is rep 225 10 times for 3 sets, do I still grow?
No.
So this is why we're either in a storm, coming out of a storm, or going into another one. Because we have to continue to grow. I know you thought the last thing was going to kill you, but he wanted to prove to you that it wasn't.
Mm,
So now what's next? He disciplines those that he loves. The question you have to have within the storm is, am I the, what in me is causing it? What change needs to happen? Instead of complaining about the storm that I'm in, asking God, can you please bring to the surface those things of which I need to change or that need to change within me?
right. Right. That's good. That's good. And you
It's a
even in that
different heart
verse you
posture, bro. It's a different heart posture when you stop looking at it
just,
like what's happening to me as opposed to what's happening for me.
yep. 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 That's good. And it's even that verse that you just brought up where you're like he disciplines those he loves. If he if his love is eternal and he loves us forever, that means we gonna get disciplined forever. As long as we breathing, like you said, we either in one, coming out of one, or going into one. And that's good, bro. Oh my gosh, that changes everything. Looking at resistance in that mindset and with that heart posture, bro. Because before, I'm thinking, man, the way I used to even view resistance was as if like God was the bad guy. Whole time the storm is his love. Like what? So
Yeah.
that changes everything, bro.
No,
I think,
you speak for you, me, and everybody on this call right now.
bro, that
It
changes everything.
as a human being, our natural inclination when bad things happen to us is to look at him as the bad guy. If we think that he had a
Right.
part that he had a hand in it,
Right.
right? That's normal. But spiritual maturation says, what is he trying to accomplish with this? And sometimes there's an immediate answer. Other times it's so far down the road and it's so beyond our capacity of understanding that we won't understand till we get there. And then in
Yeah.
retrospect, we look back and we go, dang, man, he was doing this all this time. His ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. We're not always going to get the answer we want, but the reality is making him the villain is not going to be successful. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
not. Because he ain't the
Wow.
villain, he is love.
That's good. Wow. I never looked at resistance that way.
But here's what we do though. While we going through it, we come to him as if we was kicking it with somebody that know us, but they don't know all of us.
Mm.
God, I done did this, I done did that, I done did this, I done did that. And he like, yeah. But what about that quiet conversation that you have with yourself every day? What about that shame that you ain't told nobody about? Or your best friend? I thought you tell best friends everything. Why ain't you tell them
Mm.
about that other thing you did? See, you coming to have this antiseptic conversation with me as if I don't know everything about you. Now, if you want to come and have that conversation, that get naked before me conversation, that dirty, nasty conversation that you would be ashamed to talk to anybody about, including your spouse. When you want to have that conversation, then I can show you what's going on. But as long as you want to just give me the surface level stuff you give everybody else, then I'll see you later.
It's good.
Come before the throne of grace with boldness.
He got Bible. He got Bible. That's good. Man. And
He can't fit. Look, he can't fix what you don't face, and he can't fix what you fake.
mm, that's good.
He can't fix what you don't face, and he can't fix what you fake.
That's good. I think
So you wait on him
and
to change something, and he waiting on you to get real with him.
right. 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 That part.
He like, you want me to
That
change your fruit, but you won't even reveal to me your root. So you want me to produce good fruit with your contaminated root. That's not how I work.
that's good. That's good. Man.
Let's talk about that jealousy. Let's talk about that envy, that quiet envy that you got towards those closest to you. Let's talk about that nasty mouth and temper of yours that you just say blessed and highly favored and going about your day like you doing well, but you one of the nastiest people in this. Like, let's talk about that. Or let's talk about the trauma that happened to you as a kid that you still been scared to tell anybody about.
mm,
Let's talk about the fact that you blame me for that and you don't even want to talk to me about it. Let's talk to me. Let's talk about how you've been feeling betrayed by this person and that person. Let's talk about how you've been suffering silently about your deepest insecurities. Because either I'm Lord of all or I'm not Lord at all in your life.
100%. This is really good.
Oh, so you want me to clean your house and then you're going to leave that closet just full of mess? Then it ain't clean. You want the appearance of it being clean. You wanted the money, I gave you the money. Now you still broken and empty because we didn't address the real issue. You wanted me to change your fruit, but you got a contaminated root.
It's so funny because, as you say, like God wants us to be real with Him. The way I've been, and And you know, Darius will say he has three ways you could do things: culture's way, church's way, and king's way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was raised in church, so they claim God representing Him. That's a whole different story because I learned how to be fake in church.
Mm.
I learned how to be a liar and a deceiver in the church.
Mm.
So then now God is like, be real with me. I'm like, well, all I've ever learned in your church is how to lie and maneuver around everything. So
Mm.
I want to maneuver around. It came to a point where he just made me weary of trying to maneuver around him. I got so tired of just lying and trying to maneuver that I was just like, I can't. If I have to keep this up for the rest of my life, like I might as well stop now. Like it was just so tiring. But I grew up learning. Like I learned my best deceiving tactics in church.
Mm.
Say this so this can happen. Go this way so they don't run into you. Then you go that way. Like just learning how to maneuver, whether it be physically or emotionally, even spiritually. So now they ask me the same questions. I have go-to responses to shut them up. So I learned how to be, yeah, like the wolf in sheep's clothing in church.
Mm.
I learned that. So
Mm.
you saying, yeah, God wants you to be real with him. This is, I would say this now is the first time I've been brutally honest with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
First time. Because I was like, if you really know me, if you know past, present, and future, so you knew I was going to be like that, you knew I was going to be right here, and you know where I'm going, I can't continue to hide what you already know. But
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to be a liar in his presence. So then now I'm just in his presence, just lying, like, yeah, I'm good. Just bless me with this though, and bless me with that. Whole time, if he blessed me with what I asked him for, I'd still be a liar.
For sure.
And he hates that. It literally says in his word, he detests, like he cannot stand liars. I was just reading Psalms 5, and he was like, he detests murderers and deceivers. And I have a PhD in knowing how to deceive someone because that's all I've been raised in. Deceiving mom, deceiving friends, deceiving what, like, if there's one thing I did for the past 20 plus years was learn how to deceive. I'm like, okay, that deception didn't work. What will? Instead of let me be more honest with God. So what you're saying is 100% true. Like that get naked before me conversation because I would feel and it's so funny because when it was time to get real, I'd feel resistance. I'm like, yeah, nah, not doing that. But it was
Mm.
growth.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's good.
thinking, oh yeah, see, I'm not. See, I already feel resistance and trying to be real with you. I'm not doing that. Whole time that's just growing. I'm thinking the resistance is a bad thing. It's like, no, you just never did this before. This is
Mm-hmm.
a muscle you've never worked, ever, right? And I'm like, it's so funny because I like working my physical muscles more than muscles I can't see.
For
That
sure.
will help me even more. So yeah, what you're saying is profound, man. It
For sure.
yeah, it's
For
profound.
sure. Yeah, bro. I don't know how we got here, but I hope this. Seriously, man. Like I don't know how
Yeah,
we got
yeah,
here.
I
I'm,
know.
I'm glad that
Yeah,
we're
me.
here though because
Yeah,
it's the beginning of the year. We got all these goals, these aspirations, these ambitions. The truth is, if you don't fix this, your perspective and your posture, there will never be true profit
mm,
in all your endeavors. If you don't fix your perspective and your posture, there will never be true profit in all your endeavors. Somehow or another, you will end up miserable, even with millions. Ask me how I know. Ask me
it's
how I
good.
know. So let me go back, check out a couple of these comments. Out. So Derek said, I was in a prayer group this morning and my heart got warm. I don't know, maybe put it on the screen. I was in a prayer group this morning and my heart got warm. God spoke, trust and have faith in me. Don't be afraid. How can I be afraid logically if I love and trust him as my father? It's on me. Facts. Facts. If the only thing that's pleasing to God is our faith, then what do you think that we need to exude? But the truth is, here's the reality, right? Because I don't like to just pontificate and throw scripture at folks. I like to make it practical and tangible. The truth is, I have faith in what I trust. I have faith in who I trust. Think about it. It's certain things that you would tell certain people in your life. Why? Because you trust them enough and have faith that they won't expose you. You don't have faith to tell them that unless you trust them already.
Right.
So for people to run around and be like, just have faith, if you don't know God, understand God, have a relationship with God, you don't trust God enough to have faith in God. And when your trust is low, you'll make him your last priority, your last resort instead of first priority. You'll do everything else first and then be like, I guess all we could do is pray. As opposed to proactively praying because I already trust that he got a better outcome and plan than I
Right.
do. But when my
Right.
trust is low, I'm like, I done tried all this. I done talked to this person, that person. I done made this. I done did all the things. God, I guess I'm just going to have to pray. That's when you make them your last resort instead of your first priority.
Yeah.
So I think, and again, I just think it's misleading to tell people like you got to have faith. Like, and how? What you got to have is trust. And you're only going to build trust through having a relationship.
It's good.
I got to be in the book. I got to be reading his word. I got to understand what he think about me and what I need to think about him. And I got to understand, like, I got to have a relationship to truly trust him. And then I
Yes.
got to activate my faith by doing things in faith so that the trust can continue to build and evolve and grow.
It's good.
That's why confidence is contextual. I have more confidence in certain contexts than I do in others. It's the same thing with the faith that you have about God coming through in certain areas.
Yep.
If you've seen him in your life as an ultimate healer, you're going to have more faith if somebody's sick that he will heal them. If
Yep.
you've seen him come through financially for you, you're going to have faith that although I'm in a low season, God's going to provide. It's contextual. Some people have experienced miracles at different levels than other people have. Don't make it right or wrong, but that means that my faith is stronger in this particular area based on the context I've seen them show up in this particular area.
Yep.
But my faith is lower over here. I haven't seen them do this before. I haven't seen them be faithful through a divorce because I ain't never been through one. To your point about leaving the church, I haven't seen him restore somebody after church hurt. So I don't know if he's going to do that for me.
Tell me about it.
Right? Like it's contextual.
Yep. Yep. It's good. Hey, B, listen, man.
We got to
Like I
become more
like you.
aware of what's real though, bro. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm tired
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like people just pontificating and Bible thumping and telling people about how they should be with God instead of just telling them to go be with God.
Come on.
Go be in his word, go be in his presence, go be in prayer, go be in community where he is. That's your best chance at winning in life. Forget them goals and them vision boards. None of it's going to happen until you do it his way. By the
Yep.
way, he wants you to have some of that stuff. Maybe not when you want it, maybe not how you want it, but what he wants more than that is for you to be whole, healthy, and whole. Not to keep feeding you and giving you counterfeit to try to cover up your brokenness.
good. Hey man, that's all I got. You you pricked and pried me today. I'm good.
Bro, look, I'm talking to me as I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to me as I'm talking to y'all, bro.
Yeah,
It's a daily journey.
yeah, it's good.
It's a
It's
daily
good.
journey. And
Yep.
look, and if you ain't on it, you better get on it.
Right.
I'm just if
Right.
you want life and to the fullness thereof, it's time to get busy. Start today. Look at them plans and go, God, do you want is this what you want? Like, does this make sense? Not bless this. Does this make sense? Is
Yeah.
this the plan? By the
Yeah.
way, I'm gonna have to walk some of them things out and then figure out that like it's not gonna always be this audible like, yes, now go. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, no, I gotta pat my way through. I gotta take faith steps.
Come
I
on.
don't jump off the cliff and quit my job to start the business. I start the business while I got my job.
Come on. It's good.
I
It's
gotta put
good.
my toe in the water,
Come on.
right? Like this is the walk of a believer. Faith is
Yeah.
not I just jumped all the way out there. Skydivers use parachutes, right? We should move with wisdom. We should have parachutes in that process.
Come on. It's good. It's good.
I gotta have enough faith to not answer the phone from that distraction that I know is a distraction. That I trust God with that outcome and not the
Come on.
consequence of what they may say about me or how they may feel about me. I know that thing interrupts my life, my being, my peace every time I pick that phone up. That thing does not help me get to my goal. It keep me from my goals. That thing want me to go to happy hour, want me to smoke weed. That thing want to keep me distracted, broke, always on trips, always shopping, always talk about the next thing. That thing, I need to quit answering I ain't got to make no announcement. I just need to become less available for that thing this year
100.
if I want to have a chance.
Yep.
That thing. By the way, hope
Yes,
you
sir.
ain't that thing. Hope you ain't that thing. But we got to have enough faith. I just can't. Bro, I literally used to think that it was no way that I would ever stop drinking. Like, no way. It was the thing I did recreationally to enjoy myself. And I thought, this just be something I do all my life until January 6, 2019. And I ain't never had a drink since. Got to have enough faith. I kept hearing them say, man, just give me that. I'm like, but you know, this how I decompress, this how I socialize, this how, you know, I'm introverted naturally. This is the only time that I really go out and I socializing. And he like, yeah, I hear you, but give me that. I had to trust him enough to give him that though. More than what my flesh was telling me and what my empirical data had said for 18 years that I'd done it. That I had to trust him enough that I would give him that because he told me to. The faith was the action of doing it, but it started in the trust for him. By the way, he didn't tell me when I gave him that would be the same year that I quit my job, made $1 million, and gave over $100,000 to the kingdom that year. He didn't tell me all that. He just told me to give him that. He just told me to give him that. Something that was destroying me. It wasn't like he was telling me to give him something that was for my good. He's trying to help me. To then help me some more. What is he trying to help you with? That you know is hurting. That stinking thinking. Give me that. That toxic friend. Give me that. That keep you in some mess. Your spouse don't even like them. Hate when they come over. Yet you being loyal to what? A fault. That's what you're being loyal to. A fault. You're being loyal to an idol called friend. God saying, give me that. Your scarcity mindset. Give me that. How you say life and life more abundant when you're scarcity in your movement. We got to stop with these kingdom colloquialisms. I live in abundance. Not with that scarcity movement. You can't be. Scared to take risks, scared to invest. But you ain't scared to buy nothing. So why is that the case? That you ain't scared to buy nothing, but you're scared to take risks. Buying things that bring you no ROI. Give me that. You're so in love with what you do know that is keeping you from what you don't know. Give me that. How about some humility? How about go be a student? So I don't know what it is for y'all, but I think you do. But I think you do. I would show up like this. Just give it to him. It ain't doing you no good, no way. It's only gotten you this far anyway. You got to give up to go up. Happy New Year. See y'all next week.